I didn't do a Christmas Day message this year. I had a bit of a cold. I didn't think you all needed to see me sniffing my way through something on Christmas Day. But I do want to do a kind of festive message. So here's my alternative festive message. So alternative that it's several days after Christmas already. What I want to talk about is hope. And this is very much the time of year where historically we've all talked about hope, right? Where we shared our sort of social media roundups of what a year it's been. And then that leads into our ambitions for the new year. Oh, next year is going to be my year. I'll get that promotion. I'll make some money. I'll start a big new project. I'll finally get the recognition I deserve. And this year I've seen less and less of those kind of messages. And I think in a way we've sort of got hope fatigue. If you look back over the last couple of decades, we've had wave after wave of being told, essentially by the Tories, to put our hope on hold, right? Austerity. We've just got a few years of cuts and this kind of thing, and then there'll be an opportunity for people to have a better standard of living. And then, of course, the pandemic came and wait, we've got to get through this. And then after this is over, then things are going to be good. And now we've got this cost of living crisis, which is largely invented by them, allowing corporations to get away with running up huge profits and passing the cost onto everyday people through things we need, our essentials, and things we can't avoid, energy costs and all that kind of thing. And it feels at this stage, doesn't it, like the most we can really hope for next year is to maybe sort of get through it. Globally, things are getting worse on a scale that I don't think a lot of us even saw coming, in terms of inequality, in terms of people's standard of living, in terms of all of that stuff, but also in terms of climate breakdown, which has now smashed through 1.5 degrees. And in terms of the level of violence going on around the world, the atrocities in Gaza, the things going on in Ukraine, in the Yemen, and in other places all over the shop, that I really think we all hoped that kind of warfare and violence was something that we didn't do in the 21st century. But no, we do, and it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. I think people are right to feel a lack of hope and to feel like the idea of this being your year, yeah, it's just not realistic. Even if you did get that promotion and make some extra money or achieve some recognition or whatever, what point would that have while thousands of people around the world are being brutally murdered, losing their lives to man-made disasters caused by runaway climate breakdown that we all know the cause of and should be doing everything in our power to stop? Runaway inequality and the impact that has on not only those at the bottom who are absolutely suffering directly, not even able to turn their heating on in the coldest of the year, not even able to afford enough food for their families, but also those further up the ladder who once upon a time could have afforded a couple of nice holidays and now are cutting back, once upon a time could have afforded treats and luxuries and extras, and are now looking around thinking, actually I kind of need to help friends and relatives who are a little bit further down the ladder. The fact is that even if you got all of the things that you might individually be hoping for, it still wouldn't really constitute a super successful year, because the downside of what's going on around you would easily outweigh the individual success. But I'm not saying that we are without hope. There is still hope, and I think it's so important we hang on to it. It is still possible to end the genocide that's going on in Gaza and the atrocities around the world, many of which are being sustained with weapons manufactured in the UK, in the US, in places where we think we have at least some kind of influence. It is still possible to prevent further ravages of climate breakdown by taking dramatic and decisive action as soon as we possibly can. It is still possible to do something about inequality by building a fairer society, and the hope for those things has to lie not in individual ambition, but in collective action. And so I'm kind of calling on people to make 2024 not the year when you make it and you finally have that breakthrough, but to be the year when we work together and recognise the power that we have collectively, globally, as communities, as people, as human beings, and work together to bring about the change that we all need for all of us to be left with any hope at all. See you next year, and thank you so much for those of you who are able to contribute to me being able to do this into the new year. I super appreciate your support and sponsorship.